From VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report. South Africa has 11 official languages. If you want to say hello, it's Sawubona in Zulu and hello in Afrikaans. Now, South African school children may start using ni hao to say hello. The country education ministry hopes to add Mandarin language classes in some school. Mandarin is the official spoken language of China. That country is a major trading power for South Africa. The two countries recently signed an agreement that identifies 5 areas of cooperation. They include curriculum development, mathematics and science, teacher training and research and development in basic education. South African officials have not said how much the Mandarin language classes will cost. Troy Martens works for the Ministry of Basic Education. She says the new partnership is extremely valuable to both sides. The part of the plan that had gained the most attention is a proposal to offer Mandarin classes in school. Last year, a public opinion survey showed that South Africans have mixed feelings about China. It found that 46% of South Africans do not like the spread of Chinese ideas and customs in their country, and 60% of South Africans says they dislike Chinese music, movies, and television. But Ms. Martin says trade with China is more important than those feelings. She says it is extremely helpful for South African students to learn about the language and Chinese culture, and she says not every school will offer the language training. South African census officials have not said how many native Chinese speakers there are in the country. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex Villarreal. From VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report. Experts estimate that half of the 6,000 languages spoken on our planet will have disappeared by the end of the century. In West Africa, academics are trying to protect the language and rich cultural heritage of Togo. At the University of Lomé, Professor Mboake Adobe Goeakwe studies video of Ghan cultural rituals. The professor is a cultural heritage specialist. He himself is again one of many ethnic groups in Togo. He has made films of Ghan cultural customs with financial assistance from the United States. He says the Ghan have an important place in Togo's history and culture. Ghan rituals show how its people see their world, the interaction between the living and the dead, the seen and the unseen. The Ghan believe in many different voodoo gods. But today, Professor Goeakwe says fewer and fewer Ghan children go through voodoo initiation ceremonies. He said that increasingly, the new generation does not recognize the importance of this cultural tradition. He says formal education and the spread of Christianity have reduced their influence. Many young people think traditional practices are uncivilized. And while the Ghan language is widely spoken in Lomé, The professor says it is not taught in school. Gen is one of about 39 languages spoken in Togo. Anahit Manasan is a language specialist with the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. She says a language needs people who can speak it as their first language. She says a language needs people who can speak it as their second language. If they are not, she says a language is extinct. She says languages can die as a result of increasing globalization. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex Villarreal. From VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report. Recently, there have been increased efforts to make sure children in Africa get a good, strong education. But a new report says governments are losing about $129 billion every year on poor quality education. As a result, about 1 in 4 students in poor country cannot read complete sentence. That represents about 175 million young people. The report comes from UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. It says poor teacher training and spending cuts are just two of the reasons for school failing. Pauline Rosen, education specialist, directed the report. She says more teachers are needed in African countries south of the Sahara Desert. She says the area needs an additional 225,000 teachers a year to improve primary school education by 2015. Pauline Rose says government like saving money by using contract teachers. The teachers are not government employees but work by special agreements. Contract teachers can easily be dismissed. In addition, they earn far less money than teachers working for the government. The UNESCO report says government will need to increase spending on education. In many countries, financial support for education has decreased or stayed the same in recent years. The report praises some countries. It says South Africa provides 6 times more money to teach students in areas with low and high unemployment. And Malawi is creative teacher colleges to train teachers for rural areas. From VOA Learning English, I'm Caroline Prisuti. From VOA Learning English, this is the Education Report. Keep Pen Alley is a non-profit organization that holds songwriting workshops for students across the United States. The organization recently visited a school in the Anacostia area of Washington. The children presented a concert with the help of songwriter and recording artist Paul Reisler. He established Keep Pen Alley in 1999. Since then, he has worked with more than 35,000 students and produced more than 2,200 songs. He says the power of music can teach children skills they might not learn in school. He believes the American educational system is focused too much on standardized tests designed to measure knowledge. But Paul Reisler says we now live in a creative economy. He says his group is trying to inspire children to be creative. At our elementary school in Anacostia, 95% of students come from poor families. Marlon Ray is the school's dean of students. He says some of the children have difficult lives, but he says these kids still want to strive for greatness. Jonah Turner is director of program at the school. She says the fourth and fifth grade students are often focused on more than school. Some have to help their family or live in homeless shelter. A shooting took place in April directly in front of the school. Some have. No one was injured, but the incident affected the whole community. Students are often influenced by what happens around them. Still, our elementary school has a positive, hopeful atmosphere. Marlon Ray says the workshop and concert made possible by Kid Pen Ali created good memories that will last for years. For VOA Learning English, I'm Laura Bowman. Some call me Nature, others call me Mother Nature. I've been here for over 4.5 billion years, 22,500 times longer than you. I don't really need people, but people need me. Yes, your future depends on me. When I thrive, you thrive. When I falter, you falter. Or worse. But I've been here for eons. I have fed species greater than you, and I have starved species greater than you. My oceans, my soil, my flowing streams, my forest, they all can take you or leave you. How you choose to live each day, whether you regard or disregard me, doesn't really matter to me. One way or the other, your actions will determine your fate, not mine. I am nature. I will go on. I am prepared to evolve. Are you?